Hello, thanks for joining me with another garden video. I'm doing something different and I'm starting this video back in December when I had purchased ginger. Now the ginger pieces that you see here are not how the ginger came. I learned from last year to plant good sized pieces but not the whole chunk, and to try to plant pieces that have the little nub. This ginger started at the size of what's pictured in the inset above, and I try to separate it in a way where every finger of the ginger has a growing tip so that it can sprout. I'm putting it in water, and this water has a bit of hydrogen peroxide in it to cleanse it. I don't leave it in water for more than 30 minutes. This is just to soak it. After I have soaked the ginger to give it a good cleaning, I'm then preparing the soil for how I'm going to plant it, and I'm putting 2 pieces of ginger in per planting. If you're going to be cutting your ginger, I do want to say let it scab over for 24 to 48 hours before planting so it's not susceptible to rot. And then once I put my pieces in, I then cover them with soil. I had a lot of issues last year, and if you want to see what I went through last year with my ginger and turmeric, you can look at this playlist that I'm going to link here above. I started ginger and turmeric about 4 or 5 times last year and still didn't have a good harvest. So I'm trying it a bit differently than last year. And in the container that they're in, there's already water so that the ginger can soak up the water, or really the soil can soak up the water from bottom watering slowly so that I don't really have to put too much on top of it initially. Once fully watered and covered, I then put them in the indoor greenhouse, which is holding a temperature of about 74 to 75 degrees. So I did not put these on a heat mat. I figured that temperature in there would be sufficient, and put them away and just hope that they would sprout in the next 30 days. I also planted some turmeric as well, and I was not really satisfied with the quality of this turmeric from the same store. It was kind of dried out, but what I attempted to do was mark, because I sometimes lose how many pieces I actually planted. I do not have a lot of hope for this to sprout, but if at least one of them sprouts, that would be a success to me. For the ginger, since I'm not putting them in their final planting for the whole time that they're indoors, I'm using a double tray method to water it from the bottom. I had a lot of success with that, at least last year, with the turmeric. And just like the ginger, these 2 plantings get put away for about a month. And then on January 14th, I pulled up my ginger, and I was so happy to see that all of the ginger sprouted. It doesn't have any roots yet, but there are all these growing tips that have come out from the ginger. So I've got a close up here of one of the growing tips pointing towards the bottom. All of them have at least one growing tip, and that is so much better than what happened last year, where I would go maybe 2 to 3 months before anything showed up. So having that much growth in 30 days was really exciting. Since it is starting to grow and will be breaking hopefully within the next 3 weeks, I'm going to cover it with straw so it doesn't dry out too much at the top, and then put these away again. I'm really trying not to fuss with the plantings at all. Last year I took them out once a week and checked them. This year I'm really just trying to let them go and let them do what they need to do, because I think me handling them so much also disrupted the growing cycle. The turmeric performed just as how I thought it did. It ended up just drying out and rotting. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, I did not think that it was going to do much. So I will be planting some more turmeric. There were 2 pieces that had the tiniest of sprouts. not something that I could capture on the camera. So with those two pieces, I set them aside and planted them with the soil that was already inside of the tray. I figured I would begin them like they would be, or like the ginger was, give them a container where they would stay until it would be time to put them out in the spring. So 3 out of the 5 pieces did end up drying out. I'm actually going to see whether I'm going to just buy a turmeric plant or start again. We'll see if I can find any good quality turmeric. But I thank you for sticking with me to the end. That's the update on my ginger and turmeric for now. If you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. And as always, thank you so much for watching.